Night Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Cambodia Economic Policy Dialogue. And today I want to discuss a topic of relating to automotive, more from the industrial development, and this is quite a major achievement for a country that have emerged from the war barely over 30 years ago. Now we're in position to claim that we have diversified our economy to have, I would say, industrial development that can really serve as the basis for Cambodia moving up the value chain in terms of industrial production. And I want to start this segment to cover the automotive industry because it's quite a major development for the country from an import-based, purely import-based situation to a position where we can buy, the local can buy car assembled in Cambodia, and we have the number one brand, which is Ford, which is really a brand that you go around the country, Ford is everywhere. And I have today the general manager of Ford, Seng? Seng. Voeung. Voeung, yes, okay. Voeung is here, and also Bong David. David is a long-time friend, I would say one of the eldest consultant, I mean, if I can say that, in Cambodia. He's been here since the early 90s. He have seen the evolution of the Cambodian economy, and I'm glad that he's involved in this recent trilateral arrangement to build a TPAB for automotive industry. So please, why don't I give you a few minutes to introduce yourself so the audience will know, where you're coming from, and we can start from that.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Sang. And thank you, Bong David, for giving me a chance today. I'm Seng Voeung, General Manager for Ford Division of AUMA Cambodia. I'm with Ford since day one in 2000, July 2000. So up to now, it's already 26 years that I'm working for Ford.
26 years, that's a long time. David?
David Van, so I've been more specialized in government relation advisory services for multinational companies, but also I've been set up a lot of public-private partnership operation for multinational ministries and also certain particular donors like the UN. And on top of that, we have also a company that specializes in impact investment raising fund for local SME, whether small or big. But basically, that's what I do for the last 30 years.
Well, I mean, you mentioned 26 years, which is right about time when the owner of I'm Asia, Kevin, he set up the I don't know, at that time was still an assembly, I'm not sure, but I do recall when he invited me to launch his first car dealer near the National Stadium. I think I was the number 2 buyer of Ford. So very, very glad to be part of history making, so it's a long time that Ford have made inroad into Cambodia. So perhaps you can share with us a bit the evolution of IM Asia, how it evolved, and we can go from there. Yeah.
Okay. Asia starting in Cambodia in 1992, and with the logistic at that time, and then continue to be the trading company. And as that started, we are more focused on the generator at that time. Until 1996, we are signing the agreement with Ford for imported the Ford to distribute in Cambodia. But in 1997, after Civil War happened at that time,
Yes.
everything gone. So
Yes.
we keep delaying Ford. But before Ford, we doing Jeep. Cherokee,
yes,
yeah,
Jeep,
we doing
yes.
Jeep Cherokee.
Cherokee.
Yeah, that's why our first facility on the after sale is in front of Edwood at the moment, behind the Total station.
Yes.
And then the first showroom that you see Ford is at Nian Kong Hing.
Yes.
That's the first time that you. Thank you for your support on buying the car, Ford car on as the second person. Yeah. And starting from that, we moving from normal selling until today, we have our own factory, not to assemble, but we can call it factory. We produce the vehicle in Cambodia here as with the VIN number. VIN is certified by SAE International, Society Automotive Engineer International, which coming, if you scan the VIN number that we produce in Cambodia here, it's showing made in Cambodia. Yeah, that is the one. Yeah.
So how big is your factory plant? In Posat, right? It's in Posat.
In Posat, we starting with 8 hectares.
8 hectares.
Yeah, and then we secure another. We expanded to 12 hectares now because we plan to expand and also produce other brands besides Ford.
I see.
Yeah, besides Ford. And the reason I say we are not the assembler, but we are the manufacturer because we have the parallel factory
Yes.
nearby.
Yes.
We import the small component
Yes.
and assemble and then supply to the main factory
I see.
to produce. So, and we plan to have more local production
Yes.
in the future to supply to our main factory.
So it's like a cluster. You have a cluster to support the manufacturing of the automotive
Yeah,
itself.
that our plan to doing that
Yes,
way.
yeah.
That is something similar to our nearby country.
Yeah.
They start with normal, very small scale of assemble, and then they expand it to produce the component locally and supply. So we're moving that way. Yeah, we're moving
Okay.
that way.
Well, that's quite interesting. From the Cambodia development perspective, to see an industry developing from scratch, this is quite an achievement. And I think looking in a bit deeper, how do you see the challenge of well, we have to start with the human resource challenge first, because after the war, not many of us have the skill, let alone automotive. So how you deal with that?
Okay. Let me just go back a bit when I starting selling Ford.
Yeah.
I bring a lot of experts from US, from
Yes.
around the world to Cambodia to do the seminar for the university student. So we do over 10 university and several times in each university. The same question asking at that time is, when Ford set up a factory in Cambodia? Yeah. At that time, what the experts said is that 2 reasons that we cannot set up the factory in Cambodia right now. First is the skilled labor. We don't have skilled labor to support the factory. Second, our market are too small. To invest on the factory. But along the time, we are trying to distribute and do our own thing to increase the volume.
Yes.
2 years ago, the volume reached to the investment level that we can setting up the factory.
Okay.
So
what's the number? What's the to justify investment?
we go to 10,000 units. Yeah,
Okay.
10,000 units. So that's why we set up a factory that have capacity to produce 10,000 units a year for this stage. So then we set up a factory now. But before this, we have set up a factory in Posat.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, in Sihanoukville.
In Sihanoukville,
yeah,
yes.
to assemble, to produce the ambulance.
Yes.
And export.
Yes,
Yeah,
I remember. I remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So after that, we coming back to distribute as normal.
Yes.
And in 2002, we start as the level, the volume go up to the level that we can invest. With the support of the government on the tax incentive,
Yes.
tax holiday,
Yeah.
and on the attractive policy for KD and all that. We starting the factory in Posan at Kroko right now. In
Okay.
Kroko right now, and capacity to produce 10,000 units a year, and we plan to expand more. So the challenge that we're facing at the start is the labor skill.
Labor skill.
Yeah. So to get this on board, we have to invest a lot of money to build up the labor skill by sending them to Australia, to nearby country, and inviting the expert coming in and to train them to be professional. And we take a long time to train them to be familiar with the assembly plan or that, and because we go with the ISO standard.
Yes.
Yeah, we certified by the ISO, so we have to do that. And when we come to this level, we found that sort of labor skill. So we coming up with the plan to support more than 10 TVET school
Okay.
in the government
Wow.
sector. Yeah. And then recently we cooperate with the S.
Yes.
It is the Auto Excellent school from TVET from
TVET.
Australia.
Okay, okay.
It is the joint venture between Australian government and our government. Yeah,
okay.
but running by OMA,
Okay.
who we invest everything. So the reason we do that, the main thing we setting up an assembly
Yeah.
plan line to train.
You train.
Yeah, train them to make sure that when our competitor or anyone want to assemble the vehicle in Cambodia, they already have the skilled worker.
So that ACE center is not exclusive for Asia.
No,
It's not.
that's for everyone.
Okay.
For everyone. The reason we set up is to supporting the labor. work for Cambodia.
For the industry. Bang David, from your perspective, going way back to the early 90s, you see the evolution of that, right? Starting from import only to, many different brands start to come. And of course, we have Asia is investing in the manufacturing. But from your perspective, how do you see the evolution of the automotive industry itself?
See, the auto industry can only evolve and go to the next level provided they can tap into a larger pool of what you call skilled manpower.
Yeah.
From what I have observed over the last couple of decades, our TVET is still relatively weak when it comes to producing employable people that respond to the need of the industry. Most of the TVET school that I've seen, that I visited, produce people that have bachelor degree, but then that are more well versed in theory part. But while you talk about skilled manpower for auto industry, it's all about practical. Right? So there's an acute sense of lagging behind the practical aspect, and that's the reason why I would probably now take the opportunity to applaud Mr. Heng Su, Minister of Labour and Vocational Training, who has a good strategic vision to start improving the real skilled manpower for the auto industry. So what happened that so he went about 2 years ago to Melbourne, visited the school there, and then the idea came up like, why don't we do some sort of arrangement, and this is where the good model of tripartite sort of investment and in-kind from between the Ministry of Labour and Vocational Training, between RMA Group in Cambodia, and also between this Australian TVET institution from Melbourne. And so basically this is how the so-called training center started.
Yeah.
recently.
Well, for the automotive industry as a whole, we have a lot of distributor And do you find that Ford have, of course, they are your competitor, right? How do you define yourself, like, for me, for example, as a local, say, okay, do I want to buy an import car, or should I buy a car manufacturer in Cambodia? How do you differentiate?
First thing, when we assemble locally, we get the incentive from the government.
Yes.
So we lower the price.
Lower the price,
The
yeah.
price are more competitive.
Yes.
That's one thing. And the second thing that we differentiate from most of the distributor and other,
Yeah.
we provide better service
Okay.
to the
After
customer.
sale- after sale service,
service.
yes.
To the customer, we provide better than them. Like, for example, we have 24-hour road assistant.
Yeah.
We have we cannot setting up our own workshop around the country right now, but we already train the local garage
Yes.
to taking care of our customer. So everything under control. So when using Ford, you go anywhere around the country, you have the after sales service support.
Wow, well, that's nice. So if I go to Bat Bong and my car break down, I can call somebody there.
Yeah.
Wow, nice. So basically, that's your competitive edge,
Yeah.
that you provide, good after sales service. Bong David, how many other automotive so-called assembly are in Cambodia now?
I certainly don't have the exact number, but my understanding, of course, you have also some other big brands like that are assembling
Toyota.
vehicles in Toyota, Isuzu, Hyundai, BYD, GAC, and recently Chevrolet. But all this, at the end of the day, still need what I call real skilled manpower.
Yes,
So in the industry today, there is an acute lack of that particular skilled manpower, which most of the TVET school today producing do not actually produce in response or in coordination with the real needs of the auto industry itself.
I mean, I happen to visit the BYD factory plant in Sihanoukville, right? So I went there, and they have about 100 some local assembler technician, right? But when I see they're not doing, I would say, sophisticated stuff. It's like just to screw this, screw that, put the wheel, screw in, put the battery, and then plug in. So it's not as sophisticated as I would think a car assembly would do. I mean, your Ford assembly, it's more sophisticated, right? You have more components.
Yeah.
Right.
We have over 1,000 of components to assemble.
Wow.
Yeah,
Over 1,000
yeah,
components.
and then we have trained a lot to our staff, and we run on the standard of ISO.
Yes.
And the VIN are made here.
Vehicle identification.
Yeah, vehicle identification
Number.
Print here.
Print. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we have the machine to print, and then everything accepted by the SAE
Yes.
International. So if we become the standard.
So, I mean, there are different category of, they call CKD, knockdown, whatever. Can you explain a bit the difference between this category?
Okay, CKD means complete
knockdown.
Yeah, and IKD
Incomplete knockdown.
Yeah, so the tax incentive from the government, CKD are 50% tax incentive.
50% for CKD, complete knockdown.
Complete knockdown, and 75% for the IKD.
Incomplete. Okay. So when do you use IKD? When do you use CKD?
Okay, CKD is have a limit, like for example, 500 people.
Yes.
With the component, how many percent
Yes.
of the component that have to produce in Cambodia?
Okay.
IKD is more than that.
Oh.
Yeah. So government have the level of the.
I see.
Yeah,
So IKD. So in other words, IKD you need more job.
Yeah.
You need
job,
more skilled
more
people.
component locally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's your challenge for ACE a center, right?
I definitely think so. But you see, that's why in that particular center that they set up here, the idea is very simple. Number one, like any institution, globally speaking, why trainees or students will come is because of the reputation of the particular institution, right? So like Harvard spend so much money paying their professor because to up the educational level, people all flock to Harvard, pay premium. The same principle apply to the center here, whereby the challenge is now to have enough high caliber trainers that would be properly certified by the Australian entity, and then those trainers will then produce good students. A good student will then come up and contribute more to a more productive industry, so to speak.
So, I mean, if in that context, when you produce a good student there, at some point, it will exceed the need of Ford, because Ford can only absorb so many students, right? So it means that ACE will produce more for the country production line, not necessarily for Asia or for Ford, right?
Not only for Ford.
Okay.
The plan is for everyone who come to invest here.
Yes.
We already facilitate them. We already invest on the labor for them to. This one kind of thing that attract them to come because, as mentioned earlier, when I bring in the expert, they're talking the first thing that they cannot invest the factory here because we don't have labor. So I try to eliminate that one. That's why we want that one to happen.
So you eliminate that one, which is great. And number two, over the last 20 years, our market grow also.
Right.
The rise of the middle class.
Right.
So the middle class are the one are your top consumer market, right?
That's right.
Oh, that's great. So I mean, from now I want to look a bit further in the future. We are now working to diversify economy. We working to move up the value chain, whether it's our product, whether it's assembly, and diversification is also about adding new item into our portfolio, right? Does Ford have any idea in this case? I think you make some reference that you will eventually manufacture for other brand also.
Other brands. Because it not represent only Ford, but other brands too.
Yes, yeah.
Then we plan to assemble all those brands locally rather than imported.
I see. So it could be Mercedes, it could be
Jeep,
Peugeot, Peugeot.
France,
Okay.
any other thing that will come in.
Under spec, under license.
Yeah, under license.
Wow.
Yeah, under license.
Well, so this is great. Say 4 more years, we have a choice. Of course, we want to stick with Ford, but for sedan, we can get the other brand, more luxury, something on this. But anyway, you are okay. I mean, in your Ford category, you have titanium, which is the high end already, right? I'll be honest with you. I think the price that we pay for titanium is half of what we pay for BMW. But when you drive, you feel the same level of comfort, the luxury and everything. I think that's why you're doing well, because in a way it's import substitution. If we can buy something locally manufactured, we save the money from importing. So, I mean, how do you see in the future, Bundit, the future of the evolution of the car industry?
I mean, if we just take, for example, the RMA group, right, where they have big ambition to expand, to do more local manufacturing for other brands under their portfolio, the same will probably come by the other so-called peers or competitors. And that's where it raises up the bar for a challenge in producing enough skilled manpower for the industry. And this is where I again said, I think Mr. Heng Suo from Ministry of Labour and Vocational Training did foresee that coming, and that's the reason why he made a strategic decision to then team up with the Australian.
Well, I mean, now in the context of our problem with our neighbor, with Thailand, we have a massive return on migrant worker. Most of the male migrant worker are working in some sort of technical field, whether construction or other industry. So this could be a good place to attract some of them to change their career and then to move into the automotive industry.
Yes, in fact, just barely last month, right, Army Group Cambodia had actually given 100 bursary.
100
bursary.
What's that?
Scholarship.
Oh, scholarship, yes.
For people that are returnees from Thailand. But the challenge is now to how would the center, training center, work with the Ministry of Labour and Vocational Training, eventually with the National Employment Agency to identify whom among those returnees would be more or less suitable
Qualified.
To be beneficiary of that 100 bursary.
Yeah. The ACE do intern, what you call the trainee, have to pay for it?
Yes, it's definitely not a
Not
NGO.
a free thing.
It's
You
a
have to be
commercial
sustainable.
entity.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So they have to finance themselves,
Correct.
minus the scholarship, of course.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So that's it's a good model. You see already other, say for example, Toyota, for example, would benefit also from ACE.
The intention for the center is definitely to serve the industry, not just the RMA. Right?
Yeah.
So, however, my understanding is that Toyota already also have their own plan to establish a similar
Okay.
center of
Okay.
or training
Yeah.
of their own.
Yeah.
But having said that, perhaps the center from Toyota would only become operational maybe in 2 years down the road.
Okay.
But in the meantime, if there is already a available
Yes.
operational center, then Toyota could eventually also have people being trained by this particular center and tap into the available skilled manpower that will be producing out from the center in 1-2 years down the road.
Well, last year I saw an announcement that Chevrolet, unfortunately, is your competitor. Chevrolet is coming, so they will probably tap ACE also. Skilled workforce, right?
The objective of the center is to reach out to the industry itself. Right.
So Chevrolet and Ford, do they have compatible brand? I don't know about what car they make.
Yeah, they are really our direct competitor.
Okay, yeah. So they produce also
produce similar products, yeah.
truck and also like sedan, like the titanium.
Mostly
something?
the SUV. Yeah.
Mostly SUV.
Yeah,
right?
SUV. The Titanium is average seater SUV.
Oh, SUV.
Yeah.
SUV. So they truck and SUV.
Yeah,
right?
truck and SUV.
But my understanding is that Chevrolet is looking more to service the ASEAN market, no? Or they start in Cambodia
I
first?
think only in Cambodia.
Oh, okay, only in Cambodia, yeah, good. Well, David, I want to, again, the idea of ACE is quite interesting concept because number one, it's the first time we have a direct engagement of a private sector. I'm Asia driving the process, but you have the support of the government, the Ministry of Labour. Of course, the expertise coming from Australia, they are more the provider, but the stakeholder are really two. Is Asia as the financier and the government as a policy driver, right?
Yes, that's why it's a perfect model of public-private partnership where you involve the government through a regulatory framework.
Yes.
In terms of TVET, you have then the expertise coming from Australia that allow you to really lift up the standard or the norm of trainees who come up from that particular center. But you also have the industry, the real stakeholder who are also involved, because they will be, at the end of the day, become the direct beneficiary of whatever stream of technicians or engineers that will come up from the center.
So if this model work, of course it will work because you have a strong stakeholder which have a lot of stake in that. Asia is definitely one of the major stakeholder. Do you see it replicate to look at other sector, say for example electronic, other sector that are new in the industry?
I guess you hit the nail on that. In fact, that was the vision of Mr. Heng Suo, why he decided to really team up with this Australian institution from Melbourne. That particular institution, they have several so-called center of excellence. ACE is just one of them, so-called Automobile Center of Excellence. But
so ACE is automotive, right?
Automotive Center
Okay.
of Excellence, right? But in Melbourne, that particular institution also has other center of excellence that involve hospitality, that involve nursing, that involve construction, and so on and so forth. So the idea from Mr. Heng Suo, let's start with automotive as a pilot. It works well. Few years down the road, they will then branch out with the same sort of stakeholders into nursing, into hospitality, and so on and so forth.
I'm glad you mentioned nursing because I just happen to know that in Australia they are short of nurse. And I think this could be a good model that in Cambodia, most of the kids who graduate from high school now, at least in Phnom Penh, right, they speak good English. So for them to attend that center there for say 2 years something, but Australian accredited nursing system,
Correct.
they could go and work in Australia for say 3 years, as they did in Korea, right? But they worked there for 3 years or whatever. They got the exposure, the Western way on how nursing should be, and then when they come back, they will definitely improve the quality of our health service. I think this is a great idea. This should be the next target.
But in fact, that particular so-called center that produce trainees for the auto industry in Cambodia has that ambition, all set up since the beginning. So people who come out from that particular center in Cambodia would have this accreditation or credentials up to Australian international norm. Not only they can work in Australia if the Australian government permits that, but they could easily find job for the auto industry in the region and as far as Middle East or North Asia for that matter. So that again is a pilot for auto sector. But like Mr. Heng Suo said, in his vision, maybe he will branch out to other sector a few years down the road.
But okay, just some idea, okay? If you're able to assemble SUV and big pickup truck, why not move into industrial machinery like bulldozer or, I don't know, excavator, whatever. These are all same concept. It's just different part and component. This could be the next step.
Yes. In fact, in that particular center here, not only they will get trained to just fix your usual car engine, but any type of engine, including, as you say, excavator, bulldozer, including motorcycle, including boat engine, and so on and so forth, as long as it's engine.
Okay. Well, now you get me excited. I have to stop by. I have to stop by to see the place at some point to visualize, you know. But I think it's a good concept. It's trilateral partnership, private sector, government, and a third party expert provider.
Correct.
Wow, this is quite a way. I think the trick is how fast can you scale up?
How fast can you scale up depending on how fast you can actually get, like I said, good high caliber trainers or so-called teachers, whatever you call them. Right? So that's the challenge of the center here in Cambodia at the moment to ramp up and recruit enough trainers, because trainers takes time to be certified by the Australian entity. It takes about every, I think, 6 months.
Well, you see, the reason why I say how fast can you scale up, because now the Prime Minister have tasked me to lead the task force to join the CPTPP, which is a very high standard
Yes.
Free trade agreement. Of course, the U.S. is not part of it. The U.S. used to be part until President Trump, in his first term, he left because he stopped believing in multilateralism. But aside from U.S., the remaining country are all developed countries, Japan, UK, Canada, Mexico. These are all big countries. So assuming we could join the CPTPP, say 2 or 3 years from now, that will open up massive market opportunity for Cambodian product. Not just agriculture, because agriculture is not much value add, but the industrial part of
Correct.
it. If that could really set up a new wave of market opportunity for industrial product, for car, for machinery assembly, that sort of thing. So it's quite exciting for me, because the problem for Cambodia has never been about market access. It's all about, do we have anything to sell, or what we have to sell is at high enough standard that meet the requirement of the developed country.
Basically, it's all about quality of products, including, of course, production costs.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it's more about quality, whether you do meet the whatever SPS or norm of entry that
Yeah.
the particular market will dictate you to have before you can access to those markets.
Let me go back to Ford, because I'm a Ford lover, and I see that since your first dealership opening up, I see the evolution of the quality that Ford have set up. One curious question, I'm just curious, nothing dramatic, but I notice now car paint are beautiful now. They don't have, like before, it's like either black, white, or maybe red or something. But now it's a very beautiful
A variety of color.
gray, but it's metallic or something. Do they have the coloring in Cambodia?
At the moment, not yet.
Oh,
But
okay.
the plan in the future will be coming because the investment on the painting are very high.
Very high. Right?
Very high. So it have to be in certain volume,
I see.
higher than this.
I see.
Then we can invest because the investment are very high.
Okay. Yeah, because I think you have to submerge all this part, right, into that thing.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Well, I hope someday you have that, because that will complete the whole spectrum of car assembly. But I would say, all in all, it's quite a good progress from a Cambodia that you and I used to know, and you also used to know 30-some years ago. We emerged from the war. We struggle to get whatever we can drive, doesn't matter, as long as the car is imported, we use it. But now we have a 0 mileage car that we can drive with pride, and knowing that if we go to Bundit, Vichet or whatever, access to after sales services there, these are something, it's about the quality of life. At the end of the day, what I'm Asia doing is to improve the quality of us as a local consumer, as a rising middle class that can afford to buy not a Maserati or anything, but for us it's a good car that can improve our quality of life. That's
Right,
basically
right.
what it is.
But actually, I'm glad you mentioned briefly about color range for vehicles. In the auto sector, you have two particular element. One, you produce somebody who is good in mechanics,
Yeah.
fix the engine, that sort of thing. But the other component is about body and paint.
Body and pain.
And the body and paint component, this is where you have even more acute lack of skilled manpower than the mechanics, right? And so today, a body and paint good person that's skilled in body and paint, he can make so much money, say in Australia, or even here. I believe Ford also have an acute lack of body and paint skilled manpower compared to the mechanics.
Yeah,
And this is what the center is here all about, to produce both.
Well, you touched on a good point that I remember when I was in Geneva, for me to get a technician to come and fix my air conditioner, it costs you an arm and a leg. You know,
Yes.
and this guy, he probably don't have a PhD, okay? But he charged an arm and leg. So this is something that the Cambodian have to shift the mindset, particularly the Cambodian parent. Because we always, I want my son to be a lawyer, doctor, an accountant, whatever. But a market like Cambodia, how many, I would say, lawyer you need? You don't need that many, but you need good technician. But the idea is how to change the mindset that for the parent, not to think that if your son is not a doctor, it's not bad. You know, I have a cousin-in-law in the U.S. This guy making an arm and leg fixing, heating and air conditioning. It's amazing. You know what I mean? You go there, they charge a lot.
Yes,
But
yes.
how do you get the local parent here to understand the value that there's nothing dirty, there's nothing cheap, I mean, that's the word, of being somebody who works with their hand.
It's more a perception,
Yeah.
and also a awareness raising or educational awareness to actually really tell the parents that if your children shift to TVET instead of pursuing a MBA and so on and so forth, it's still not that bad. Because if you reach a certain level of specialist,
Yeah.
like I said, you can easily find good employment, good salary in the
Yeah.
region.
Yeah.
No?
Well, and that leads me to the fact that if the younger generation move up to appreciate that when they work with their hand to fix a car, to fix the engine or whatever, they can earn a good living. That is how a society will evolve. Because when you know how to fix an engine, you can move up the value.
Correct.
And that's how industry develop. That's how you attract American company, Japanese company to assemble, to manufacture thing of high value. And maybe at some point, this guy can migrate to work to produce semiconductor, to produce, nowadays everything is all semiconductor. But you have to have an industrial mindset.
Again, take the example of Ford. Okay.
Yeah.
So my understanding is Ford is also operating, RMA also operating in the region, like in Myanmar, in Laos. So they actually also intend to send their people from Laos and Myanmar to be trained in Cambodia, and you dispatch them.
Okay.
And even Ford Foundation or Ford Philanthropy
Yeah.
people based in Bangkok also told me that if the center here produce enough skilled manpower, they have such a big demand even all the way in the Middle East,
Okay.
for instance. So again, the center is meant to produce high-level skilled manpower that would easily again find employment not only in Cambodia but also within the region and beyond, like even Japan, Korea, Middle East, Australia, New Zealand.
Well, I think it fit into the government policy of diversification, quite clear. In the world now, the WTO, which I just came back from Cameroon, the WTO Ministerial Conference, we're going through a major challenge. Major challenge in the sense that the world sort of split, right? You know, you have the Western world, you have the Eastern world, but at the end of the day, it's all about how each country can move up the value chain so that they can compete. Competition is getting tougher and tougher and tougher. It's not going less, it's getting worse. So I mean, and with technology, you know, you have to have this edge, and you cannot master technology if you don't have the basic mechanical understanding. Because I think mechanical is a foundation. It's a foundation of anything higher. So I think for the future, if Cambodia as a country would succeed to compete with the neighbor or with the world, you have to have a higher standard of understanding technology. In the case of in this case, the problem with our neighbor, for example, we have to start training our local to understand how drone work, that sort of thing, you know. So I think you cannot run away
Right.
from technology. You cannot run away from building the base of a strong mechanical, you know, engineering industry.
But maybe just to illustrate on your point here about evolving technology, right? Take the example of EV.
Yeah.
EV, everybody know about EV, but nobody knows that in fact, if you have an EV car that run into an accident, you cannot just send somebody to go there and open the door and rescue people out. It's very,
Why?
very
Why?
dangerous.
Why?
It's very, very dangerous because there is a SOP, a procedure where you need to learn how to go and rescue a passenger in an EV in case of any accident. You can just anyhow open the door, you can get electrocuted.
Oh, really?
So in the center, they are actually training for 2 days
Wow.
people to
The
treat their-
battery, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So in the center is 2 days training for the basic training in how do you rescue people in case of accident with the EV. So these are the things that
Well,
a
I'm
lot
glad
of people
about
don't know.
Ford. It's a combustion engine. So that is serious,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Wow. But since you mentioned EV, the government have recently introduced a series of fiscal incentive to support the industry on the EV development. What's your take on that?
I think maybe he would be better
What's your
positioned.
take on that?
Okay. The EV incentive that the government provided to the EV importer, the reason one coming not really affect much because most of the EV are coming from China.
Yes.
And from China, the import tax that the government reduced is already
At
zero.
Okay.
But the challenge for us as the assembler at the factory manufacturing is if the EV tax, especially on the special tax,
Yeah.
at the moment is 10%.
Yeah.
That discourage the assembler to locally make here because
yeah.
the investment to produce EV will be more than the tax that they paid when they import as the CBU.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
EV, I believe that will not have anyone will setting up the factory to produce EV here with this tax incentive. And another point that will be a challenge for us as the assembler locally here because the tax incentive is too low for EV.
Yeah.
We are the assembler not competitive anymore.
Okay.
Then the people when the people move to EV, I believe some of the assembler in local here will closing down in the near future because the volume cannot cover the investment.
Wow.
Yeah, that is another big challenge that I see.
Well, you know, I was in, again, as I mentioned, I was at the W2 conference, and the problem at the global level is that the US have some serious, and the EU also and have some serious problem with the excess capacity of China, for example. So this is a global debate now. It's not a secret or anything that the China EV is flooding the world market because they have excess capacity of steel, they have excess capacity of battery, and so they can really, really reduce the price and kill the competitor.
Right.
Look, Volkswagen is dead. It can't compete anymore now. Volkswagen is turning to back to the Second World War, making a weapon now. But these are the issue. Issue is that the excess capacity is causing a lot of problem, a lot of tension in the world market now, and that's why the U.S. is very, very hard on China on this excess capacity, and we have to have some. I would say that the WTO, the last conference, nothing much came out, mainly of this diversion of view. You know that the U.S. feel that China is flooding the market at a price that is not fair.
Not fair,
I mean
yeah.
that is the reality. China have their own view that they have excess capacity. They have to produce things because the local market is not enough to absorb all that. So it's not something that we Cambodia can solve. But at least we should know the dynamics of the global actor, and the global actor are who? U.S., China, EU, some extent India, but it have a direct impact on us, on your industry, on IM Asia, on ACE, whatever. Yeah. But it's not something that we have an answer tomorrow. Okay, so let's just hope that the cool mind prevail from U.S., from China, from everything, and hopefully we can find room to grow also, because like the big country, we a small country, we also need to survive. But anyway, I think we're coming to the end of our dialogue, and I want to say thank you for coming to share with us some of your view on IM Asia and Bundit on the ACE, that sort of
Always a
thing.
pleasure.
So it's a positive mood, it's an optimistic mood, and I hope that we can scale up very fast on that thing, so that we can capture the opportunity that will arise when Cambodia ultimately join the CPTPP. Yeah. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Look forward
Thank you,
to that.
Bundit.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the end, and as always, I can only hope that some of you, particularly the younger one, and that's mainly my message for the younger one, look at TVET as one aspect of your career. Of course, some of you may become a lawyer like me, or a big accountant, or whatever, fine. But as a country, we don't need 1,000, 10,000 lawyer, 10,000 accountant. We need 20, 30,000 of TVET specialists, mechanics, people who use their hand. There's nothing bad or nothing dirty about using your hand to earn your living, as long as it's an honest living. Don't get involved in scam. But these are, to me, the future of the country. These are the future, because unless we're able to build a core of professional technician, we cannot, as a country, we cannot rise to the level of a developed country. At some point, we'll be stuck in a middle income trap, and this is not something we want. So I want to wrap up by saying thank you to our two speakers, and for your very, wisdom, for your perspective, your vision of the future. And I will see you all later at the next program. Thank you.